All right. Okay, so this would be a uh, continuation session of Selenium, and so we have completed good number of topics in Selenium and slowly moving towards the closure, but covering some important topics in terms of automation. Okay, so let me pull up. Can you see the screen, everyone?
Yes,
Yes,
Vinod.
we know.
Okay,
Yes.
all right, right. So this would be an important, very important session where you have to understand. It is pretty much what we have discussed in last 2 to 3 days. It will be a subset of that particular discussion only, but slightly different, uh, right? Slightly, the importance is different, and the way that we use in the project in the automation is different, right? So in the projects that we work, correct, in the projects, we use a lot of data to move around, and we store the data for some particular time, and we delete the data when it is not required, correct. In context of that, right, in context of uh, using the data inside your script, that might be anything. Data can be anything. Okay, it might be the credentials. Okay, it might be some values you are passing, right? So while you write automation script, correct, so we learn how to pass with the help of send keys, correct. We use send keys for what? We use send keys for what?
Passing the
To enter
values.
the data.
Correct. We pass values, some data,
Yes.
correct,
Passing the
right? But what we are doing, we are passing the data inside the script only, correct? We are passing the data inside our script. Now, example, you are passing a username and password inside the script. Okay. Do you think is that secure way of passing the data?
No, we know that.
No.
What happens? Tell me what are the pros and cons of this passing username and password in the script.
If you, it is
We
we are
Security
hard
problem.
coding.
Hard
One by
coding
one.
and security problem.
Okay, Rajalakshmi, go ahead.
Security problem. It will come security problem. We can encrypt the data. That is better.
we can see the
Okay.
username and
No,
password,
so
everything
Yes,
we will.
password also we
okay,
can see and hard
okay,
coded
like
the password.
okay. Now see, when I pass encrypted value inside my send keys, will it work?
No.
You understand the question?
Yes, I know.
You said by passing this credentials, it will be a security problem. Correct? Agree.
Yeah.
So can I pass encrypted format of username, encrypted format of password inside the script?
Through send keys, we
Mm.
cannot generate.
You understand the question, Rajalakshmi?
Yes,
You know,
yes, we
if you are
will.
passing also that because in real time we will give from the in UI side, right? So we should not hard code the values.
Yeah, correct.
Yes.
That is
It,
what the discussion is now. What we are doing now, we are doing hard code inside the script. Correct.
yes, yes, Vinod.
Okay. That is what my question is. If I do the hard coding, it means passing my username and password inside the script. What all issues I can get in the real time? One is obviously security threat.
Yes.
Correct.
Yes.
Second one, in real time. Okay. When any new person is joining, or you are giving a KT of the script to another person, don't you think this username and password is exposed to that person? Correct?
No.
Yes.
Yes.
Correct.
Correct.
And no company, no product, no production website will allow junk data. Username and password, dummy username and dummy password. They will not allow to play around on the. It should be an active user only. So let's say you are giving a demo to a developer. You are giving a demo to some other person. Don't you think this username and password is exposed to those people, correct?
Yes, Vinod.
Yes, we know.
Correct? No, so that is why. So initial days while practicing, that is fine. We learned how to hard code, we learned how to send the data from the script, that is fine. But it is very, very dangerous to store any hard coded value, correct, in the script. Correct? It is against the coding principles. Starting days, we learn how to hard code, that is fine. But going forward, when you move to an advanced level of scripting, you should understand how those values should be passed to your script. Okay. Now all this says we were learning how to open a folder, how to open a file, how to write the data. Now, how should you use those things in your script? Correct. Now, this is your project structure. Okay. Correct. You have your data here. You open the browser, line number 1. You passed on, you open the get method. Now you have this particular username inside this Excel sheet or a text file. Now here, in place of send keys, you're going to call that value here. Correct? That's where you're not going to hard code. What you're doing, you're parameterizing. You pass some variable, some X. This value is coming from here to here. And your script should continue per password. Password should come from here. Again, your script will continue. You'll go to next page. Script continue. You click on something, you'll come back. Correct? Now there is a requirement in the similar, right? In the similar scripting. Now we understood in manual testing, there is a database called as MySQL. Yes or no? How many kinds of databases that we learned?
Oracle, MySQL,
Oracle,
SQL,
MySQL, and SQLs and
SQL,
Postgres,
SQL,
Postgres, MongoDB,
MongoDB. Yeah.
right? Those are all databases. Now, one of my requirement is here. Let's say this output. Okay, some output is coming. Some output it is coming. This value, let's say salary 2000, example 2000 rupees. This is the output of some calculation here on the website. With the help of getText, you are getting this value. This value should go and sit in this column. In database, there are rows and columns, right? Yes or no? There are
Yes.
Yes, we know.
rows and columns,
Rows and
correct?
columns.
Right? Now, this 2000 rupees value should go and sit somewhere in this column. Now, what it should do, your script should set up a connection to this database, correct?
Yes.
Your browser will open the URL. You will pass the username from this. Okay. You pass the password from this. You performing some action. Your website has validated, taking some values. Some value it has the output which is displaying on this website here. With the help of this getText, you bought this value, and this value should go and sit in the database. How it is going to happen? Now your script will first, like it has opened the browser, right? It should also open the connection with the database, correct? Yes or
Yes,
no?
we know. Yes, we know.
yes,
First it should open the database connection. It should open the database. It should connect to the table. Then it should connect to the column. Then it should pass the value of that column to this 2000 value, correct? But we are practicing best practices. Coding principles doesn't allow to store the values Now, to connect with this database, what I need to have? I need to have username, correct? I need to have password,
Yes.
right? Now, this is very, very critical. This is production.db. You cannot show to anyone just like that the username and password of the DB security threat. Then how are you going to store these values? And you need to pass the URL. You need to pass the URL of the database, production DB URL. Where you will be passing this URL. Again, you have to hard code this value inside your script. Again, hard coding is not allowed because of coding principles. Now, what is the solution for this? What is the solution for this? The solution for this is very, very important. You need to understand what property file. Okay. Now, what it contains? It contains configuration details. So it might be anything. It might be database URL. It might be username, password, anything related to the configuration, anything related to your DB connection, anything related to some network, anything confidential data that you cannot show in the scripting, that will be, I'm using a new word. Generally, we use that in a MuleSoft development, externalizing. It means these details, you cannot see it inside the script, that is externalized outside of the scripting. You store it in some file which is called as property file. All your project configuration details are stored inside my, what file is that? In real time, people generally also call that as a, they'll write like this config or proper prop file shortcut. Okay. So they'll call either configuration file or the property file. It's one and the same. But what it contains? It contains the core information of any credentials. It might be credentials, any value which needs to be secured. See, I'm spending 15-20 minutes just to explain this property. Ideally, that should not be the case. But because you are listening for first time, maybe few people not even heard this. So I want to give ample of time to understand what is this. Okay. This is not a, a file which we have created. This is not a txt file to store multiple lines of data. This is not an txt file. Okay. So this is a property file which is has very, very limited data. What it contains? It contains example, username, ABC, password, XXX, age, right? EB, like this. It might be anything. It might be anything which your script is required to store, but in the form of key and value. This is not a simple plain text we are talking about. Your configuration file or your property file will contain project configuration or project related data, which is in the form of key value pair format. This will be your interview question. Okay. So It will be in the form of dot properties. The file is saved in the form of dot properties. Now this this property files are mainly used in Java programs, Selenium programs, Selenium projects, Selenium programs to store the project configuration data. Database configuration, this is database configuration data, correct? Or some kind of a project settings, which will be in the form of key and value. In Java, which feature talks about key value pairs?
Maps.
Maps.
Very good. That maps interfaces talks about map, talks about key value pairs. Okay. Okay. Now, what you might be thinking, what is an okay, storing this value is fine. What is advantage? Right? Now, let's say you have hard coded inside the script. Yeah, hard coded inside the script. If we want to make the change, you should be opening the whole script, right? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
You have to open the whole script. Now, example, if I go to Eclipse, I want to change some value, right? Some hard coded value. I go to any script, right? 11 a.m. Anything I pass. Example, if methods, number of links, notepad. Yeah. So I open the script, and if I want to change anything, if I've hard coded, see here, right? If I want to change any path, I have to come here, right? Yes or no?
Yes.
Correct. So anything that you want to change. Now, this is the URL. If I want to change the URL, I have to come back here. Correct. Now I want to change, you know, this X path. I have to change this X path. If I want to change whatever is the hard coded double quotes, which is hard coded, you have to open the script and change it. But what happens now, real time? Now it is only of how many lines? 65 lines, 70 lines. But real time, it will be 500 lines of line, 400 lines of code. So where all you are going to change? How many lines are going to change? Correct. So what is the biggest advantage is if you have that important secure information in the property file, all you need to do is go to that property file. Example, in our case, we have stored in uh, screenshots, right? Now, example of CSV file, example, if I want to change the data, I can open here and I can change the data example, right? So instead of opening that Excel sheet and opening the script and changing the data, right? I can just open the the configuration property file, which is stored somewhere in the project path, and I can make the changes. If I want to tomorrow, if I want to connect instead of MySQL, if I want to connect with another database, the connection URL, what I do, I can go to that particular property file and change the DB URL, change the DB password. That's it. Change the table name. Automatically, your script will go and hit that particular URL only. You're not opening the script here. Opening the script is always risky. You don't know by mistakenly if you delete one line of code. By mistakenly also if if you remove comma, if you remove dot, or if you remove slash, or you by mistakenly you remove some character wantedly or unwantedly, it is going to be a disaster. Okay. Okay. Right. Now we understand that your project should have a property file. This will be your interview question. What is a property file? What it contains? Okay. So what is the use of property file? How are you going to configure that property file? All right. Any doubts in this?
No.
Any doubts? Please let me know.
No, Vinod.
No.
No? Okay. Now, we know that the property file should be inside my project. Correct? Inside my project. How will I going to create it? Okay, how I'm going to create it? All I need to do is right click, right? I can create like this. Give you a file name, click on finish. I already have created one file here. Where is that? See here, I created example.property file. If I double click on this is my sample data. I'm just passing sample data. Okay, I'm just passing sample data. So what we do is, let's do one thing. Let's create one first. In most of the times, okay, in most of the times you will not create a property file. What you do, you will read the data from the property file. You will read the data from the property file. So please, but let's create one property file. Then let's delete this one. Where is that? Okay. Now, so always uh, create a folder where it has all the data. Now, go to this folder, right? Just input some data, uh, so resource folder. Okay. Anything which is meaningful. See, I have a resource folder here. Similarly, I've created data where I have one sample CSV. Don't bother about that. So I'm going to have, I already have one data, so I'll not create one more. So inside my data, I want to create my property file. Okay. Now let's create one. What should I create now? What should I create?
Class.
One class, correct? I need to create one class.
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 Right? This one, practice, or first grade. Okay, let's create here. What should be the name of the file? Writing
Mm,
property
Property.
file. Okay. Don't give Shah Rukh Khan, Salman Khan's name. Okay. Over. Those days are over. Those all people now become old. Yes or no? They become old, right?
Yes, we
Yes, Vinod.
You do people don't laugh. You are serious. I don't know how much serious you are in practicing, but you are
no,
serious
we
all the time.
don't. We are laughing, but it is in mute.
You're laughing in mute.
Yeah.
Okay. Now to deal with properties, right? We have a class called properties. Properties. I'll name it as hero new. How do I create? Like this, right? This is my properties. I'll need to add util. Okay, java.util. Okay, no errors. All good. Now this is my reference variable. With this, I can play around and it provides a lot of methods. One of the important method is set property, which will take two parameters. Always remember, property file contains key and pair values. Key and key and pair values. Now let's create one property, right? And this is the value. Okay. And let me create one more. Password 123 ABC 123. Okay, 123. Yeah, let it be 123. That's fine. So I've created this one. Let me create db dot URL. I'll say that http colon colon 127 dot can say PR production DB prod DB. Okay, and this one more. Can say production DB URL name. One, two, three. I'm just trying to create one realistic so that you'll find it. It will connect with real time. Okay. Now, this is my actual credentials, and this is my DB credentials. So it is hitting this DB and passing this URL and password. Okay. Now, where is my folder here? This is here, right? This is my folder data. Correct. This is my folder data. Data is in what? In my project, right? In my project, this is the folder, right? Now, you should read that folder. What I'll do, we have done in the past. I'm going to create a, yeah, config path. Okay, system dot get property. Now, user.dir is my project directory. Inside that, I need to tell where is my folder located. I'll put double quotes. I will always put two slashes. My slashes. Okay, what is the name of the folder? Data. Correct? Yes or no?
Yes.
And what is that? I'm going to create some sample dot or OP. Let's put some realistic. Uh, uh, what I can say? Customer DB dot properties. Always, it should have properties. Why it is throwing error? Double quotes plus PIDs properties. Okay, it should not be the case. Right, two slashes is missing. No errors. All right. Now this will pick up. This is my project directory. Inside the project directory, I'm telling this is my folder. Inside the folder, data folder, create this property dot customer DB dot properties and have this values placed. Okay. Now this should this should go inside that file, right? So whenever we deal with file, reading the file, we use different class. Writing the file, we use different class. Now, file output stream is used to is a class which is used to write the data. new, copy this one here, and arguments I should pass. What is the name of the file I'm going to pass? This is the path, right? So what I'm telling here, this is the, let me remove this error. Yeah, add throws. Okay. Now I'm going to write the file. What I'm going to write in which file? This is the path. Where this is located, this is inside my project directory, and this is my actual folder path. What I should write? This is the data. Why it is taking two parameters? Because always properties dot property file always stores data in the form of key and values. Okay. Now to have heading inside my configuration, you don't write once what these details are. You can write the comment here. These are the customer database related config details. Customer database config details. Something you can mention here. But again, this is going to be inside the script. But what if I want to have this kind of user-friendly message inside my property file? There is a method which is again given by what is that pro dot store output file or output dot stream comments. Yes, the one. Right. This is my file name automatically came here, and I'm going to mention what. Just I copied this one, right? I'll mention here and put colon. Through extension. Okay. And once you're done with the writing of the file, always you should close the file. Oh no, file, right? It's not pro. File dot close. Okay. Now let's print what is the which location the data is written. Data written successfully. What is the file path name? Which path it is written? I'll print this here. Okay. Now, what did we do now? We had the help of this property class, we created a difference variable. This difference variable comes up with different methods. One is the set property method, which will accept username and password. Here, username and password, ideally it will accept the key value pairs of information, whatever you want to store. And because we are creating a file, remember this, we are creating a new file. So we are telling this is my location, this is my folder, and this is the name of the file I'm going to create, which is dot property file. There are many files in the market. Obviously, no txt, dot yaml, right? Dot raml, dot property. There are many something, different names will serve different purpose in the project. Okay. Now we are using file. We are telling to write something in the file. We should always use file output stream to write the file. Always it is going to accept one parameter. What is the file name? Right? Our config has complete file name and the file location. Right? So we need some comments inside my file. We'll use with help of store comments. It will be inside the script. comments can be inside your file as well. So once you are done, you can close the file. Here we are just printing the file path where it is created. Okay, let's see how it is working. Okay, it says Selenium scripts, your DB. Let's refresh. See here, customer DB dot property files. You can see the color difference.
Yes.
Yes, we know.
Okay, so this is the key. This is the value, key value pairs. Any doubt in this? How to create a file? Yes, no.
Yes, we know.
Clear.
Okay. HTTP. Okay. Now let's close this file. And same what we do is generally we don't create, but it's always good to know how to create. Now let's read the file. Okay. Okay, I'm going to create a new file. We already have this file in this location, right? This is my location, customer DB dot. So how should I do it? How should I read the file? Same, this one, because I'm dealing with the property file, I'm going to use this. Let me, okay. It will make copy paste will make us. It will save some time. Okay. Now which path? Where is my path? This is the one, right? Yes or no?
Yes, Vinod.
Yes, we know.
This is I'm good because I'm dealing with property. I need to create a property class here. And what is the path name I'm talking about? This is the path name. Okay, we are not doing anything. We just created a file. So we just created a class name called properties. This will help us to read and write. What is the file name? This is the file path, this is the file name. Correct. Now, because we are reading the file, right? We used for writing, what is that we used? File output for writing. But for reading, we should use
Input.
file input stream. Then I'll put fr to new. I'll copy this and paste it here. I'm going to, what is the file name? Should I use this ref variable or this variable? What is the variable?
Config path. Config.
Config path. Correct. I'm going to use config path. Right. I need to remove this. I remove this part. That's it. I remove this part. Correct. So far, we've just created a property class and just created a file path where this is my actual location of the project and this is my file location. Because I'm reading the file, I'm using this. What file I'm going to read? This is the file I'm going to read. Okay. Now, before to read the file, first thing is you need to load the file into the properties class, which is a pro that we have created. Pro dot load. Sorry. Okay. LO. Today. Right. LOA. Okay. This is the one. What is the file name input? Again, it is showing. Let's see what is the error. Just okay. Just add. Okay. We have loaded the file into the. See, till now, till here, we are not connected to any this property class. But here we have connected with the property class. Correct? Right?
Yes.
Okay. Now I'll write part reading the file. Okay. Now let us open that file. Okay. This is file. Oh, this is my file. It has contained DB password, DB URL, vice versa. These are the keys. These are the values. Right. Now I want to read the DB username and DB URL. Where is that? Yeah, I want to use that. So PRO dot. So we have a get property. Where is it? Get property. Okay. Now see here, there are two things. We have get property, string key, get property, string key, string default value. So right now, we want to read only the key, right? The key and then get the value. So now I will use get property. And what is the name of the key? I want to get the value. Now let's say DB pass. DB password. We have not created DB username. Where is that? We
It is
created,
there,
right?
It is there.
Is there?
Yes. In third,
Yes,
fourth.
it is. It is taking differently. Okay. Okay. Now I pass it here, and if I wanted to get the another one, DB pass. What is that the naming correct? DB pass. Okay, that's what it is. So DB pass. All right. Now tell me, will it print on the console? My these details.
No, we need to run
No.
system
No.
dot.
So what I'll do, I have two options. Now I'm going to create a string like username, right? And string password, right? So yes, EB username is copying all unnecessary things. Okay. So let's run the script. It's printed, right?
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Now,
Yes, we know.
now example, can I pass this value into my driver dot? Now driver is not there. I'm just saying to find element, right? Y dot X path, right? I'm just saying example. Now in place of password, right? It's already taken. See, now this is hard coding. Is this hard coding?
No, Vinod.
No.
No. Do you see any password in the script?
No.
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 Correct. So all the passwords are hidden. We don't know what is hidden, but we are calling with the help of calling with the help of DB username, DB password, get property. Any doubts in this?
Ideally, like for project, we can have n number of property files of how it should be.
Oh, you can I mean, many projects that you can just take as many as properties you want. It depends on your script usage. Now, before doing any automation, right? You know what details you need, what details you can capture,
Okay.
right?
Uh,
So,
right. Like, can we like without using this property file? Is there any option like we can pass these details through Excel files also, right? We can use the same thing.
see, Excel file, again, if you have the, now if I open a Excel file, now Excel file is very huge, right? Now, this is an Excel file. But what is our data and property configuration files? Only a 1 or 2 lines, 3 or 4 lines max. Just for these many lines, you're going to use lot of other jars, other libraries, other scripting methodology. You should check what XLS it is. You have to use other interfaces to write the script. It is all, it will become very lengthy. For a small file, you're going to use an additional library files to use it. So if you are testing with a lot of data, where you are getting hundreds of data like sales data, customers data, products data, definitely that will come in Excel only. That anyway you need to know Excel reading and writing. But for this kind of small configuration files, we always go with inside the project. We always go with smaller file which it creates in this format. See the way it is created, very small file with small data. And if you put it in Excel, right? So you cannot get that in a key value page.
Okay, got it. Like
So
ideally for
again,
Gmail logins, if you want to verify any login.
Gmail, if it is your data is like this, example, username, password, then you have thousands of usernames to verify, then you will take it. And there will be a lot of data, just where you have multiple sections where you need to, example, if it is an Aadhaar card application, right? So if you want to verify, it has lot of fields, like just like name, father name, age, date of birth, you will be right, address, last year address. There are many details it will capture. Then it will have a lot of test data. Then line by line, you want to test whether Aadhaar card application is working for these many rows. Then you do a read and writing. So whenever you want to change the data, you delete this test data and load the fresh data. Automatically, this data will be picked up from this Excel sheet. That we'll discuss. So we
Got it.
have completed TXT, reading and writing. We have completed how to create, we have, we have completed how to create folders, how to delete folders, how to create TXT file, how to read, how to write, how to rename, right? We have done. Now this is the next step is the configuration part. What is the configuration file? What is a, I mean, configuration or a property file? What it contains? That is what we are doing it today. And we have done how to create a file, and the same file we did a reading as well. Okay. Now let's say if I wanted to get all the key values, like now this is my db pass, db url, db username. Generally we don't require. So what we do, what is the method pro dot, there is a method called p key set. Okay. Now it will get all keys. Now it will return all keys is my that which is will check what is this. All keys field name because it will return string only. So we'll put that in a set which will not allow any duplicates, and let us assign to string. We'll add change type to object. Okay, let's change it to object because object is a super class, and system dot okay. No, this is my keys. There. Okay, so let's see whether it's picking up all the. Yeah, so it is picked up. What all details it's picked up? PB username, password, username. So it has picked up all the keys from the key value pairs. It picked up all the keys. What is the method? It is key set. Key set. Now, if I wanted to, okay, let's rename it here. So all the keys from the config. Right. Now, what if I wanted to print copy this all values? Okay, how can I do it? How can I do it? The same way. This time hero dot okay.
Values.
Let's check is there any values. These values collections. Okay, it says collection object, so we have to create a reference return type as collections. Okay. Now let's say all values is equal to, and we put that as a collection, right? First collection and object. Good. Let add its Java util. Now, okay. Okay. Is there any error? Right. Okay, it should print this all URL, it is all keys printing. Now this is all values it should print. Yep, it's it. It has taken all the values. Got it? So we have read the keys separately. We have read the password like sorry value separately. Okay, let's try all. We'll see any method is available to pick all the keys and values as a key value pairs. So it should be key value pairs, right? Arrow. Let's check any. It should get all the names, right? Any names. Property name. So enumeration. Set string. Okay, let's take this one. Set string property names, and it was saying it should return, but it should return all the property names from the uh, values, right? From all the property names from the property file, right? Now let's write for loop. Let's return a string. Let's name it as a key. Let's remove this colon. Is there an error key dependent is returns unmodifiable keys value is corresponding. Yeah, just it's okay. Now let's print this. This is my key. Double quotes plus what is the arrow for it iterates, so it should get the property. Is there any get property default value to property string key? Okay, let's get property key. Property keys. Okay, now let's see. That should print all the. Let's see. I'll explain you on that. Password 123. Right. Password 123. DB Apple username. This is DB and ABC. Right. Okay. I think what is okay. See what till here you understand, right? Till reading all the keys, all the values, you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, we will.
Okay. Okay. Now for the you understand this as well. Now this what we have done, we have taken a for loop because we don't know, right, how many lines of key value pairs are there inside my file. So this will return all the number of lines, number of property names inside my config files that is returned to the key, which is of difference of string type. That many times the for loop will run. And what I'm doing here, this get property, this is very important. This properties class file, which is referring to this reference variable PRO, it has got many methods. Now this is another method, get property, right? Key. The get property is something where each line it will pick up the value. So now this is the one. See, this is the output. Where is the output now? Key, correct? Key colon. See, this is the key. Property of this key is what? The value. The property of this key is what? The value, which is printing here. This is the key which we are printing. But we're telling get property of this key. Property of key is what? This is the value. Understand? Any doubt here? All you need to know is the methods. Rest everything is, if you practice, definitely it will help you. So this is very important. Very, very, very important in real time. Very important for the interview. So you most of the times, whenever you see any hard-coded value, sorry, any like value which is parameterized, right? Which is parameterized like this, or you don't values are hidden, then you should search for the property file in the folder structure. Okay.
Got it.
So tomorrow will this is very important. Reading, writing, also configuration files. And so tomorrow we'll start how to read few other formats, which will be helpful. So once tomorrow we'll complete two major topics. Tomorrow, what time shall we connect?
11 to 12.
11 to 12. Others?
Yeah, 11 to 12
Yeah,
is fine.
okay, Vinod.
Yes, Vinod, 11 to 10.
11 to 12? Okay, let's connect 11 to 12. And if there is any change, I'll let you know like today. And so tomorrow I'll tell you when it's going to complete. Tomorrow, two topics. That is 2 days. We have 2 days, 1 day. Most probably will complete on Friday or Saturday. Okay. All right, everyone.
Yes.
Okay. So
Okay,
we'll,
Vinod.
we'll meet tomorrow. All right. Thank
Can you
you.
share that script, Vinod?
Yeah, sure. I'll share. Yes, yes. Should I share it in the script?